What is up, fellow gamers? So in this one, I wanted to cover the rest of the DLC. Now, something that I didn't do in the lightweights is I forgot to cover Corrales. I'm like, how can I forget to cover Corrales? So yes, Corrales is one of the lightweights that came in this DLC. And just to talk about him, he is the only one of the bunch of the 7 fighters that we got that is not a boxer puncher. No, at least the fighters I'm going to talk about today. Let me clarify that. Of the fighters I'm talking about today, he's the only swarmer. The rest are boxer punchers. So I'm talking about 4 fighters. Going to be talking about Corrales. Going to be talking about Fundora. Going to be talking about Tszyu. And going to be talking about Antonio Tarver. And so out of those 4, he's the only one that's a swarmer. The rest are boxer punchers. So you probably won't have to hear me say boxer puncher. But he has an 83 rating. The thing I like about him is that left hook. As you see, that's one of his traits, and his main trait increases chance to flash knockdown opponents with left hooks by 10%, but it decreases the chance if you're throwing hooks by 5% of a flash knockdown. And it's a blood and guts warrior. He has that blood and guts warrior 1, reduces the chances of the referee stopping the fight due to cuts by 25%, increases the chance to be cut by 10%. So it kind of offsets a little bit there. And you actually see that in the fight because he does get cut. However, if you like someone to come forward, apply pressure, and you're not worried about the cuts, you're pretty solid in your defense, then I think he's a solid choice. You know, there's nothing really special about him. You just got to make sure you're using that left hook appropriately and at the right time. Nice counters at certain points, and you're gonna get some good results. But outside of that, I think Diego Corrales is not one of the fighters, not gonna lie, that I'll be playing with very often. But for you, he might be. You see his defense is fairly low, as it was when he fought. His speed, his stamina is his highest stat. So speed is what you want to focus on, coming forward, applying smart pressure. So now Fundora, an interesting fun fact, just to let you guys know about Fundora, you see his reach, it's 79 inches. Now, if you look at all the fighters from bantamweight all the way up to light heavyweight, you know how they have the categories. Some of them cover multiple divisions, just like welterweight covers 141 to 154. So it covers welterweight and super welterweight. So 79 inches, there is not another fighter from light heavyweight down to bantamweight that has a reach longer than him. From light heavyweight down the bantamweight. Now, of course, you're saying, well, bantamweights are small. Of course, they don't have to reach. They still got some 72-inch reaches, you know, when you look at some of those lower weight classes. But 79, it's just abnormal. But we know 6'5" at 154 pounds, that's abnormal as it is. That's crazy. So his reach is a problem, definitely. I mean, just look. I just want to show him. Look at that. Monster. Just a monster at the weight. So his reach is huge. On top of that, he has great stamina. And look at the uppercuts. The uppercuts are at 90. So the uppercuts are very high. And as you see, he has Jawbreaker, increases the damage of uppercuts thrown to the head by 20%. So not only is his uppercuts at 90 in the strength department, he also has Jawbreaker 1. And it increases flash days chance on thrown uppercuts by 10%. So you want to throw those uppercuts. So you don't want to stay on the outside. It's almost like the devs are like, yeah, Fundora's tall, but a lot of time, just like in his fights, he gives up his height. And he comes in there and he likes staying close and throwing those uppercuts. So you got to make sure you're doing that and using that appropriately. Now we go down to Tszyu. Tszyu, 83 overall. I don't know if I said what Fundora's overall was, 84. Okay, but Tszyu is 83 overall. And when I look at him, he just is solid everywhere. I think the weakest part of Tszyu is his cut resistance. His cut resistance is at 76. So, and I did notice that in the match. I swelled more than I cut, but that's something you got to watch out for because the same with him, he has that slow plodding, coming forward type of style. I know it's a boxer puncher, and you can actually use him in both ways. I actually like the way his punches feel when I'm throwing them. And you definitely want to be going to the body because he has Liver Destroyer 1. Increases the damage of left hooks thrown to the body by 20%. And I definitely felt that when I was playing with him. And he has Blood and Guts Warrior, reduces the chances of the referee stopping the fight due to cuts by 25%, and increases the chance to be cut by 10%. So very similar to Corrales, who has that same kind of trait. But Liver Destroyer, that means you want to focus on those body shots. Take advantage, get those counter body shots, and that's going to work in your favor. His accuracy at 87, so he's solid. I always look at him as steady across the board. You can do a lot of things with Tszyu. And now we're going to look at Tarver. So Antonio Tarver, his model's not that great. It's all right. It's all right. Let's go look at 86 overall. You see 88, 86, 86, 86, 87, 87. And when you look at his traits, you want to focus on the jabs and the straight and counter punching. He's 89 at counter punching. So if that's your style, you want to be a counter puncher. Now, of course, all of us playing, we all counter punch at certain points, but some of us are more counter punchers than others, as we know, especially like Teofimo Lopez. For those that like to counter punch, Teofimo Lopez is a perfect one. He's got T-Rex. Well, I'll just say he has very short arms, so that's going to work in his favor. But accuracy is 87. Agility is not that great. So trying to dance and move around the ring, that's not really Tarver. That's not really Tarver. So it's just steady boxing, knowing your distance, popping that jab and then straight out, making sure you're getting those counter punches in. That's what you want to be doing with Tarver, and you'll be in business. You look at his traits. He has straight shooter 1, increases the accuracy of all thrown jabs and straights by 10%, decreases the accuracy of all hooks and uppercuts by 5%, just leaning into what I was just saying. Sting like a bee, increase the damage of thrown punches by 20%. And then you have reduces the chances to inflict a flash knockdown when throwing a counter punch by 10%. So you got a trade-off there. Sting like a bee 2. So that's 20%. That's good. That's good. So counter punching, jabs and straights, like I was saying, that's what you want to focus on. But those are the DLC. I would think out of all the DLC that we received in this, my favorite, and Antonio Tarver was free, so he really wasn't part of the takeover per se. But I'm just including him because it dropped on the same day. But what I like about it, or my favorite fighter, I would say, out of this is Emmanuel Augustus, because I'm playing games. Most of us play games for fun. And Emmanuel Augustus, he provides that. Yeah, I'll probably get knocked out a lot, but I'll have fun doing it. And that matters a lot. So Emmanuel Augustus is my favorite. I would say the second one, Billy Dib, is more my style. So I could see myself using Dib a little bit, even though he's not that great, because he does stay on the outside. I will have to stay in loose movement, similar to Emmanuel Augustus. And that's how I like to fight. Tarver, I probably wouldn't use Tarver very much. And then Fundora, I almost feel like he's a cheat code. He just feels like a cheat code. So that's why I'm not sure how much I'll be using Fundora right now. But there's nothing you can do about that. There's nothing you can do about that. That's just, he's in the game. That's how he is in real life. It is what it is. Tszyu, I like him as well. That plotting style, he's solid also, but I don't think I'll be using too much of him. Teofimo Lopez, I won't be using much of him either. So out of them all, Diego Corrales, either. So as you know, Billy Dib, Emmanuel Augustus, out of these 7 fighters, those would be the ones I'll probably be using the most. And then if I had, the second tier that I like, I would say it would be Tszyu. And, Fundora is nice, but it just feels like a cheat code, so I probably wouldn't use him. I don't really like Teofimo that much, so I probably won't be using much of him. But I'm rambling, so I'm going to go ahead and get off of this one. I hope you guys appreciate it. Oh, like, subscribe, show some love to me. I appreciate it. But that's all I have for this one. I'll be jumping into probably some more gameplay, probably figure out something else that's going on with Undisputed that I can talk about once I get my hands on it a little bit more with some of these fighters and see how some of them counter others. But that's all I got for this. I'll catch y'all next one. Peace.